Hello, Facebook. How are you guys? Hi, Instagram. How are you? Thank you for joining me yet again. I get to do this every single Thursday at noon Eastern Time, and I love it. It's one of the favorite parts of my job is getting to go live and talk with all of you guys about all the things, the best ways you can optimize your health, your vitality, your fertility, your mindset, truly the best ways that you can step into your power. I actually had my own healing session this week with, you can look her up on Instagram. I am Rama, Iamrama, this wonderful woman, Stuart, who takes you on a soul journey. And it was a very powerful session, very powerful healing session if you're into those types of things. But one thing that, she's highly intuitive and came out of it was that the work I do is really less about helping women get pregnant and more about helping women step into their true power and guiding them to the best versions of themselves, which is what I really pride myself on. And not that I am by any means perfect. I am constantly learning and evolving. And that's something I like to then bring to you guys. As I learn and evolve, I get to share it with all of you. And yeah, I've been a clinician as a practitioner of Chinese medicine for 17 years and written and authored several books and am known in the world as a fertility expert, a woman who helps women improve their fertility from a natural perspective. And that's Hillary Wren. Nice to see you. Mwah, I miss you. Not everybody always gets a call out, but when I see somebody pop up that I haven't seen in a while, we really do need to get together. It's nice to see old clients of mine come on here, and I miss people. Anyway, I've become known as this woman that can help you get pregnant faster. That's a fun thing for me to be known for, and I love it. And I'm a huge, obviously, proponent of Chinese medicine, which is the medicine I practice, and acupuncture and Chinese herbs, Chinese diet and lifestyle tips. But then I've also studied functional medicine, and I have an herbal mentor, and I've taken deeper dives, and I was a research scientist before I became an acupuncturist. So I have a strong research background, and I take all of those things together to then help my clients. But what I do see as a main part of my job is empowering you to become the best version of yourself so you can live the life of your dreams. And for a lot of women that follow me, that life includes making babies. And so that's a fun part of my job. It's a very, as I always say, a very measured end result. So for the science nerd in me, a baby in your arms tells me, yeah, for certain, we freaking did it, right? Or a baby in your belly, 20 plus weeks pregnant, I am feeling like we're taking that baby home, and that's a huge accomplishment. And I also have the luxury of, helping thousands of women across the world between, like, my two most popular books, Yes, You Can Get Pregnant, obviously, what that's about, and Body Belief, how to, heal autoimmunity, reduce inflammation in your body, learn to love your body more. I combine the work of these two books and my very first book to really bring a holistic approach to healing and vitality. And with that, I want to get into what today's topic is all about improving egg quality. So, in my world of helping women get and stay pregnant, a very big part of the conversation is FSH, AMH, egg quality, antral follicle count. How many eggs do I have left? Can I do anything about the quality of them? My doctor told me that because 35, 37, 41, 43, 44, 33, yeah, your eggs are probably bad, which is actually bullshit. Plain and simple, it's bullshit. And it's an easy excuse, and I think it's lame, and I think it's lazy. I think I heard Dr. Vidali, one of the doctors I often refer to, is a reproductive immunologist. He's an amazing surgeon who deals a lot with endometriosis. He said the other day on one of his Instagram lives that the diagnosis of unexplained infertility is lazy. It just means your doctor doesn't want to work hard enough to dig to find the answers. And I couldn't agree more. It's a bullshit diagnosis. And so is age related fertility challenges. They're bullshit diagnoses. And sure, our age impacts our fertility. Our fertility does decline as we age. No one is arguing that. However, not nearly as intensely as we're meant to believe. I show a lot of research in my book, Yes, You Can Get Pregnant. And I'm actually coming out with another book called The Egg Quality Diet, where I talk about this research as well, that yes, fertility declines with age. And yes, age impacts ovarian reserve and egg quality. However, only about like every couple years you get older, or maybe call it every decade, you know. So if you're 25 to 35, 35 to 45, it goes down by about 5 to 10%. Not, you don't fall off a cliff. I think I've heard many doctors tell women, oh, at your age, which, in your mid 40s, that you have a 5% chance of getting pregnant. It's actually not true. The stats show us, the science shows us that women, even in their 40s, who are trying to conceive, in 1 year of trying, maybe 60 to 70% of them will get pregnant naturally, in comparison to 80% of women 10, 15 years younger than them. So it's not a 5% chance. Even if it's a 50% chance, it's not a 5% chance. So to keep that in mind. But what's most important is, everybody's concerned about egg quality, and egg quality is all about, really, bottom line, the level of inflammation in your body. The level of inflammation in your body translates to how your cells are aging. And are they aging prematurely? Premature ovarian insufficiency, premature ovarian aging, premature ovarian failure, right? Those are really common diagnoses that women are getting, or they get geriatric pregnancy, which again, just like lights me up in a way that like I want to scream at somebody like, how fucking dare you call me geriatric? What the hell is your problem? Um, anyway, that aside, but it's about the level of inflammation, because inflammation impacts cellular aging. Cellular aging impacts every single cell in your body, including the cells in the eggs in your ovaries, right? So you have a bunch of follicles, hopefully, that are in there and developing, and one becomes a dominant follicle that then ruptures out this egg that hopefully gets fertilized by healthy sperm, and then together they swim up the tubes, they implant into the uterus, and they make it their home for the next 9 to 10 months, right? And that's the idea, right? So what it really comes down to then is the cellular health. So it's less about chronology, chronological years, how old you are in years, and more about physiology. And so what is your physiological age is really what I want to focus on, because I'll be very frank. I have girls that are 30 and unhealthier than girls that are 40 in my practice, right? Take worse care of themselves. Maybe time hasn't caught up with them, because I do think too, the other thing is, this is something I say a lot to my clients: the older we get, the easier the pipes are to get clogged. The easier it is for us to be impacted by these inflammatory agents in our life. And stress is inflammatory, nutrition is inflammatory. I mean, if you're not eating the right way, lifestyle can be highly inflammatory. So I work on all three of those levels: mindset, mental, emotional, physical, and nutritional, to really help women anti-age their eggs, aka improve egg quality. So it is not just about taking DHEA, which I also think can be really reckless and is a reckless recommendation to the general population. You should get your DHEA tested and then decide whether or not you need it. You don't just take it automatically to improve egg quality, because it can really backfire. Some women it does significant harm, some women it does absolutely squat, and some women it helps. So just keep that in mind about DHEA, okay? And then also all the antioxidants out there. You can take handfuls and handfuls of antioxidant supplements, or scoops and scoops of antioxidant formulas into your, I just finished my smoothie, into your smoothies. But if you have a severely toxic, inflamed, mental, emotional state, conversation with yourself, I don't know that you're going to receive all the benefits from those antioxidants. Or if you have an otherwise very poor diet, or you're still exposed to toxic chemicals on a regular basis, or eating, foods that are highly inflammatory, whether or not you have intolerances or allergies to them, but foods like gluten, dairy, soy, sugar, artificial sweeteners, that kind of thing, you're going to absorb less of those antioxidants, so you're going to get less of a benefit. So it's really, unfortunately not as simple as we might think it is. That, if you want to improve egg quality, it really is about a complete lifestyle, diet, mental, emotional reset, reboot. It's ultimately about that you want to look at your whole life, mental, emotional, physical, nutritional, and live in an anti-inflammatory way. And so, if you're new to me, you might not have ever heard the term that I use a lot called emotional inflammation. And if you're not new to me, then you might be sick of me talking about this at this point. But, I have women that'll come to me, they are doing all the things. They are taking all the supplements. They're actually eating the diet the way I'd like them to do it. They're sleeping their 7 to 8 hours a night. But they are maybe not as in their joy as they could be. They're not as heart centered. They're more mind centered, and they're Googling everything, and they're researching everything, and they're questioning themselves and everybody else all the freaking time. They're genuinely maybe unhappy. They're not living the life of their dreams, and maybe not expressing themselves emotionally. And they're subject to intense emotional inflammation, which research now shows, and I talk about it a lot in my book, Body Belief, that the thoughts we think impact our physiology. And so if we are in a constant state of beating ourselves up, critical thinking, abusive conversation, self doubt, self hatred, listen, those things will exist. We can't get rid of them. I'm not saying that there's a perfect mindset to achieve good egg quality. I'm just saying we could shift into being a little kinder and more compassionate and a little more grace and ease with ourselves, and away from the self-hatred and self-abuse. And it would be highly beneficial to the level of inflammation in our body, and the egg quality in our ovaries. And so, you can't out supplement a shitty mindset or a shitty lifestyle, is basically how I would look at it. And so when I have those women that are like, I'm doing all the things and I'm still not getting pregnant, or when I do IVF, I'm not getting good quality eggs. I think there's two things to think about there. One is mindset. Your chronic levels of stress. Are you in a chronic state of fight or flight? Is this fertility thing getting to you? And it's tough. It's not easy. So I know that it can get to you, and I'm not saying um something's wrong with you because it's getting to you. It's more about, are you are you being easy on yourself in all of this? Are you being kind to yourself and saying, I am showing up as best as I can? And yeah, it hasn't worked for me yet, and I'm severely devastated by that, but I'm still in it. Call me crazy. I still have some hope, call me crazy. And I'm going to continue to search for what feels right for me and what fits for me. And then if you are doing fertility treatments too, that maybe you continue to search for the right doctor to work with. Um, Plenty of girls that are getting poor quality eggs with IVF. A lot of times it's the meds too, so you want to relook at the protocol. Sometimes you're getting over medicated, and that's compromising quality. But that's time for another conversation. But to think about that, and then there's this other component that then there are women who are mad because there's women that eat McDonald's and get pregnant. And sure, that happens, and it's kind of inexplainable in many ways, but it's not. Also, everybody has a different epigenetic makeup. And so our genetics aren't set in stone, but it's more about our epigenetics, and epigenetics influences whether genes turn on or off, or how we age, depending on how we choose to live our life. And so some of us are just set up for being much more sensitive to environmental toxins. And we have to figure that out. We have to figure out the exact diet that works best for us. And for some women, that means like she has to avoid gluten, dairy, soy, sugar at all costs. And other women, it means you just have to go organic with those substances and eat them in moderation. For others, it's, you guess what? Nuts aggravate your symptoms, or nightshades aggravate your symptoms, right? So there's there's not one diet for egg quality, is what I'm trying to say. It's you trying to figure out what is the best for you. I do think that, in the research I've been doing for my egg quality diet book, I do think the things that are very clear when it comes to diet is that we're eating upwards of 6 to 8 servings of vegetables a day. Green vegetables seem to be amazing for fighting inflammation in our body, that we're eating good quality protein, a couple ounces, a couple times a day, and that we're eating a ton of fat. So there's some really interesting research showing that if you get a woman to decrease, so macros, they're called macronutrients. So it's an overall look at like how much nutrition you're getting in a day. They look at carbohydrates, protein, and fat. So the average American woman eats about 40 to 50% carbohydrate, 10% fat, and then the rest protein. So 25-30% protein, somewhere around there. If you switch her to a macronutrient diet that is 40 to 45% fat, 30% protein, 25 to 30% protein, and then the remainder in carbs, which is about 25%, pregnancy outcomes, I think, quadrupled in the one study. It was a very interesting study. So, and all this fertility clinic did was just shift their diet to less carbs and more fat. Basically, protein kind of stayed the same. So they weren't necessarily even doing organic or gluten-free or pesticide-free. It was just getting women to eat more fat. Fat makes up that outer shell of the egg. The egg is what's called, it's surrounded by a phospholipid bilayer. That is the outside of the egg. And the more fragile the egg gets, the poorer quality. And so to improve its flexibility, which then makes it more penetratable, and I almost visualize it as easier to divide. It's just like juicy. It's a juicier egg. Is fat. Fat, fat, fat. And so if you guys do track your macros, I think a great way, a goal to do is to get upwards of 40%. I've even read some nutrition research articles that saying even upwards of 60%, not keto. I am not saying keto because you need carbohydrates for balanced hormones. If you go too low on your carbs, it's going to be bad for your egg quality and your hormones. So it's fat, protein, carbs. You want to make sure your ratios are in sync there. And good news here is my egg quality diet is all done for you. That way we've already tested out the macros, so it's all laid out for you. So guys, keep an eye out for when that book is going to come out. And I'm also running, starting on Monday, my Fertility Reboot, which is a 30-day mind body reset. And all of the diet laid out in the Fertility Reboot also represents these macronutrients, like exactly how you need them, and nutrient dense foods, and 6 to 8 servings of vegetables a day, good quality protein, bone broth, all of the things. And I have mapped out for you 30 days of that diet. So you get menus, meal plans, shopping lists, daily emails from me. So the program is awesome. If you want to check it out, it's amyrop.com/fertility reboot, and enrollment is open until Saturday night. But if you want like a good framework to start from, and you're going to get some sneak peeks from my upcoming book too, which I think a lot of people are excited about. So why not? The program's $150. It runs 4 weeks. You get 4 group coaching sessions with me in a private community, along with probably over 100 to 200 other women who are going through the challenges with you. So we work on diet, and this is in the Fertility Reboot program. You can check out all the details, amyrop.com/fertility reboot. We do diet, but we do 4 weeks of mindset too. So every day you get an email about the food to eat or what to cut out, what to focus on, and then a mindset instruction as well. And it's a great program, because to me, the core of what we're doing, of course, like for you, the benefit you want is to improve your egg quality, right? You want to balance your hormones, you want to improve your egg quality, you want to reduce your inflammation. To me, the benefit is I get you to learn how to nourish yourself, not just nutritionally, but emotionally. And so I'm working on, for you, so you know where I'm coming from, I'm working on physical and emotional inflammation, which I know for certain will help improve your egg quality. With the fertility reboot, if it's so powerful, is it too powerful mid? It's so funny. This question keeps coming up. Um, Mid ERA or FET? I don't think so. So it's you'll still be getting plenty of calories. So it's not a calorie deficit. You you're going to reduce inflammation even more. So I think going into an FET, it's an amazing way to prep for the FET. So absolutely not. If someone winds up getting pregnant during the program, I will help them adjust things. Just so, that's where I kind of like flag it. So if anybody's like, "Hey, I got a positive pregnancy test," which is amazing and we're going to celebrate that, then I might say, "Okay, make sure you're getting, this much more protein," because there are about 11 days in the program that's called my Purify phase, which is a little more stricter eating and is highly beneficial. I mean, even in pregnancy, I've had plenty of women be pregnant. I have plenty of women that get pregnant after this program too, which I think is really interesting. I think because it lowers inflammation just enough to allow pregnancy to happen, because inflammation can also impact implantation. It might not yet be impacting your egg quality, or you might have plenty of eggs left and there's still a lot of good ones, but maybe you're not implanting. So that happens too, where it really helps women with implantation, which is a fascinating thing. But if someone gets pregnant, we usually make a couple tweaks. When is the new book coming out? So the set launch date is June 13th. And we'll have some fun like pre-order stuff for you guys. If I'm starting STEM first week of May and going on vacation before that, can I still handle the program? Yeah, so I actually was just in my private group, my Yes You Can Get Pregnant e-course students, and I was saying to the girls in there that even if you can't do the diet 100%, or maybe the timing isn't right for you to 100% follow along with the diet, like you're going to get all the information so you could do it whenever you want. Like all those emails are yours, all the PDFs are yours. Like, we literally give you 30 days of meal plans, recipes, shopping lists. So like you have that, you can repeat it at any time. To me, my favorite part of the program, like the diet stuff, is just kind of like automatic and we can all do it. It's tangible. It's the emotional stuff. So 4 weeks of working through our beliefs and things that could be getting in our way, or belief systems that aren't serving us. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with any of us. I think we're all perfect and evolving and we're awesome. But I do think many women carry too much shame or guilt or regret, or their beliefs are getting in their way. And so the 4 weeks of the live coaching is really about the beliefs and the mindset. So even just tuning into that 1 hour coaching call, which, I mean, those of you, I'm not bragging here, but like my current rates for coaching are, over $400 an hour. So you're getting 4 hours of me for $150, which is really like 10% of what I would normally get. And and so I think there is a significant value. And then the community is a significant value. So even if you can't totally do the diet, doing the mindset piece is highly valuable. And then you also have the information on the diet to do when you can. Um, Okay, let me see. I know egg quality, the diet takes 3 to 4 months to see results, life cycle of the egg. What about FETs? Is there a timeline? I know obviously the longer the better, but just curious. So you already have the embryos made, is what you mean, because you're going to do a frozen embryo transfer. So then I would think it would be more about prep for the body and reducing inflammation. So even the month should be beneficial. I'll have girls, if I know they're prepping for an FET, we get them like in this program to then best, receive that embryo. If the embryo's already made and they're good quality, rock on, good for you. But now we want to create the vessel, the palace. Like I want this anti-inflammatory palace to be as receptive as possible to give that baby the life of their dreams. Um, okay, is 47-year-old too late? Only if you think it is. No, I'm being facetious. I've had, recently, one of my clients who's 48 created healthy embryos with her own eggs, and she was following this diet. So I'm gonna go with no. And I've had 46 and 47-year-olds get pregnant using their own eggs via IVF. I've also had 46-year-olds get pregnant naturally. So I've seen it, you know, and the doctors I work with, most of them are like 48 is kind of their number that they've seen women using their own eggs, either naturally or with IVF. So I do think, and that's kind of what I was touching on before, the older we get, the easier it is for our pipes to get clogged. So, regardless of like outward inflammatory symptoms, the cleaner you are with your diet, the better it's going to serve you if you're still actively trying. I suppose I should do this as well, right? Thank you, Juana. Um, Again, so Juana's in one of my groups. I do think that the mindset piece alone, even if you don't feel like diving into the diet entirely, maybe you're one of those like sideline learners, you know, it's good there. Um, should we be eating goji berries for egg quality? So in Body Belief, I don't necessarily recommend them, but that's not entirely fertility book, right? It's an autoimmune book. So in the egg quality diet, we do have a list of egg quality foods or foods, fertility enhancing foods, and goji berries are definitely in there. Yes. And so in the fertility reboot, we cut out fruit for a little bit just from the sugar perspective, inflammatory perspective, but then we add it back in. Goji berries are dried, but they're low in sugar, so they can be added back in once we add them back in. Absolutely. Can HRT increase inflammation? Can reboot be done while on HRT? I think so. And you know, it's less about if the hormones are causing inflammation and more about your genetics and how you're made up. If you have the MTHFR mutation or the COMT mutation, you have a harder time clearing out hormones. And so a diet like this will really help you because it takes the pressure off the liver because you've removed all the other stuff, all the other junks. And so now you're just having to process that HRT. And then increasing the green vegetables really helps your body process it too. So I think it would be a good thing. Yes. Um, oh, how long before is it beneficial and for how long? Um, I don't know what you're asking. You mean how long before the HR, the ER, the FET? Oh my God, all these acronyms. Should you do the reboot? I mean, I think you could do it a month before, but you could even do it 3 months before, but just stay in the diet then. So you're going to stay eating that way. So basically, what we're going to do in the reboot is an elimination diet. And then we slowly start adding things back in because I'm a firm believer in like, yes, there's a fertility diet. All of us talk about it. I talk about it in my book, Yes, You Can Get Pregnant. What I've learned, I do think I've been practicing longer than many clinicians out there who are talking about fertility and fertility diets. What I've learned is every woman is different. And every woman reacts differently to different substances and different foods. So, doing an elimination diet lets you figure out exactly what works for your body. We're going to, every week, we do a symptom checklist and we see how things are shifting in our body so we can then track how inflammation is managing and moving along, transforming. And so you figure out what works for you. So if you're prepping for an FET in the future, then you figure out the right diet, you stay on that diet, you do the transfer, you get pregnant, you stay eating that way through that first trimester, then you begin reintroducing after that if you want to. Um, um, what if I'm vegetarian? This diet is not vegetarian friendly. I respect you and your decisions to eat how you eat. The research, again, I put on my research brain first. I was a vegetarian at one point in my life for fertility. Getting animal protein in and fat from animal sources, I think, is significantly important. I just don't think vegetarians can do it. Especially, you could do this program if you're willing to eat eggs and maybe some broth, even if it's from fish, or if you're willing to do fish. So I have a lot of women who will come to me vegetarian and they're willing to do fish and they're willing to do broth and eggs, and it can work. You don't have to eat meat, but I do need the eggs and ideally the broth, and then like ghee or coconut oil, of course, avocado, coconut milk. We do lots of that kind of stuff too. But I do think broth, the gelatin from the broth is extremely important, but that can come from fish. I do think the choline from the eggs is like imperative to egg quality. And that again is not, um, I'm talking strictly science when I'm talking about that right now. Okay. There's a lot of healthy vegetarians, and you got to soak and sprout your nuts and your seeds, and there's ways you can do it. But I do see, if a vegetarian comes to me and she's still not getting pregnant or getting good quality eggs or embryos, if she's doing IVF, adding in some basics like the ghee or coconut oil, eggs, and broth can significantly change the game. I just had one girl in one of my groups who is on her fourth IVF cycle. For three of them, she was not working with me or my team. She was eating mainly plant-based. Two of the cycles, she got only one embryo that came back testing good egg quality. Only two were sent off both times. The third IVF, nothing was able to get sent off, so she had no embryos from the third IVF. Then fourth IVF, she changed her diet to this diet. She got 6 blastocysts to send off for PGS testing, and I'm waiting on the results. But like her numbers of what she got from an IVF almost quadrupled, or sorry, tripled from the plant-based diet. So I think that speaks volumes right there. Is this program suited for people with Crohn's colitis? 100% it is. Yes. I did it last year, learned a lot, want to do it again as a refresher. So any alumni, you guys get 20% off. So look in your inbox, because we sent you a coupon code, alumni, or DM us if you don't remember it. Do you have functional doctor recommendations in the LA area? Yeah, DM me, because we're getting a list together. So absolutely. Is white bread and rice bad for you? I don't like to say good or bad. I think white bread can be highly inflammatory, and rice can be in certain cases. So if you are to eat white bread, I do think it should be sprouted and organic. I don't know if you can find many white breads like that, but that's how it should be. Experiencing hair loss, which can typically be a hormonal issue. So hopefully the reboot will help. Yes. Okay, does chemical pregnancy point to poor egg quality? It can. It can point to inflammation across the board, maybe not necessarily poor egg quality. Can also say that maybe the uterine lining, something's not hospitable there. So there's, a couple things. I'm 45. I believe that I'll be pregnant very soon. I believe that for you too, sweet dreamer. Okay, let's see. So anybody else with questions here? When doctors say your eggs are bad, it's a cop out. The wise woman said, all you need is one healthy egg. I agree. All you need is one good egg. I mean, and if you want a couple kids, okay, so you need a couple good eggs. Even if your AMH is low and your FSH is high, you still have hundreds, if not 1,000 eggs in there, guys. Remember that. Okay. Here, one doctor said to me, with 37, I'm too old. I'm pushing 43. My doctors are pushing donor egg only. I know. Same for me. You guys, I'm as fertile as I think. There you go. Crackheads also get pregnant so quickly. Sucks when I'm so healthy and I can't get pregnant. I hear you, Luis. It does suck, and I honor that. Uh, I think there's a couple layers to it. One, I think maybe when you're high on drugs or whatever, maybe you don't give a shit as much, so your stress levels aren't that high. I don't know. There's a surrender piece there. Um, and yeah, I think crackheads might be younger too, so their fertility is less impacted by the drugs and the alcohol at this point. Um, but also genetic makeups are different. Some people can handle drugs and alcohol in a much different way than others. Um, which type of fats are good? So I think I already named them, avocado, saturated fats, basically. I love organ meats, avocado, broth, coconut oil, ghee, butter if you can tolerate dairy. Those are all really good fats, nuts, seeds. I'm 44, feel the best I've ever following your advice. Just did a mini IVF, didn't want many drugs, got one egg. Wasn't mature, they cultured it and were able to transfer it back into me. Okay, can't help but feel we tested too early. What's coming out of me? Now I can't help but feel this. So here I am back to square one to make eggs good. Perfect timing. Oh, you're welcome. You can do it. You just keep at it. Just keep at it. I know, well, I haven't been through IVF, so I can't say that I know exactly how you feel, but I do know that it's exhausting, and I do know a lot of this is also like trial and error, and just If it feels good to you to continue on, continue on. If you still have hope and faith and belief, then trust that. Let that guide you more than the statistics and the numbers up here. Prepping for IVF for 2 months. Now, is this enough time? 2 months out. Oh, absolutely, Jamie. Yes, it's enough time. How soon after eating the wrong food would symptoms of allergy intolerance arise? Kind of depends on how clean your diet is. Like, but I would say, within a day or two, you should see symptoms, sometimes in a couple hours. If you get gas, bloating, itchy, indigestion, diarrhea, headaches, brain fog, those are all your answers. And allergies and intolerances are very different. So always want to be clear on that. An allergy is very obvious. It's anaphylaxis. You could die, right? So intolerance is what we're more talking about here. Can I conceive with a cyst? You sure can. Coming from Europe, is this an issue with timing if I would like to participate? Not at all. So everything's recorded. If you can't make it live, you can watch it another time. You're getting emails on a daily basis. It's set to go out at 6 a.m. your time, not just our time. So you'll be in the loop 100%. So no, and we post for you to ask your questions before I go live. So I'm going to answer your question and you can watch it at any time. So, let's see. Yeah, we're not doing it on Facebook. This is the first time we're not going to do it on Facebook because a lot of people don't love to do Facebook groups or love Facebook. So we're actually using some Mighty Networks is what it's called, and so it's going to be different. It'll be done via Zoom through Mighty Networks, and it's awesome. We're very excited to get off of Facebook for some of these programs, and it's going to be our first try. So we're going to see how it goes. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Sarah, Beth, I think doing the reboot would be helpful for the PCOS, because it is really about balancing hormones and then improving that quality, right? You might have a ton of eggs, but are they, stagnated periods? What does it mean for fertility? So we want to amp up the healthy blood flow in your uterus. That's a stagnated period, and blood to us in Chinese medicine is like it's one of the three vital substances, and it's critical to healthy quality eggs, healthy quality uterine lining, healthy quality pregnancy. So yeah. Will the live sessions be available for later viewing? 100%. What kind of daily practice do you recommend to control emotional inflammation? I think the biggest thing that I like to work on, and it's in my book, Body Belief, and we're going to really do a deep dive on this in the reboot, but it's just like asking yourself, like, where are you right now? Where are you right now? Are you in the past? Are you in the future? And are the thoughts you have serving? Are they serving you? Are they serving your larger goals? Are they supportive of, what you're trying to create? So it's consciousness. Consciousness is the daily practice. Like, where are you right now? And how are you cheering yourself on, or how are you beating yourself up? So it's really tuning into the thought process that you have on a daily basis. So do I need to do the whole reboot after a week of cheating with food, or can I just do the second part of the reboot? Yeah, I think you can ease back in. I think once you do it once, like, you really learn the framework that works for you. And then I think it's easy to come in and out. I mean, I try and let's not try to be hard on ourselves about cheating. It's just like, okay, I had some fun and I ate some different food, and it doesn't totally agree with me. And I can't wait to get back to the style of eating that feels so good for my body versus I need to eat this to get pregnant. That's a lot of fucking pressure. And that is not what I'm here to do for you. I'm here to teach you how to best nourish and support your body. Because when you figure that out, when you figure out what works for your body, your health thrives, your fertility thrives, your egg quality thrives. That is the key. This is not good or bad, okay? It's not cheating or being an A+ student. Okay, so let's see. We work with women all over the world, guys. Okay, so lots of questions. This was fun. I gotta go because I gotta hop into another group. So if you want to join us, the Fertility Reboot, the enrollment closes Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. amyropp.com/fertility reboot, 30-day mind body reset. Everything's recorded. You get so much bang for your buck, and you're also going to get some sneak peeks at my up and coming book, The Egg Quality Diet. So lucky you. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Don't forget, you have the power to change your health and improve your fertility. Okay? Don't buy into the statistics. Buy into what's in your heart, not up here. Okay? Trust. If you believe, then it is it to me, then you want to honor that and you want to pursue it. And no one should be able to tell you not to believe. That is not fair. If you believe, if you have hope in your heart, then it is yours to follow through. And I support you and I commend you. Okay. Love you guys. If I can figure out how to work my computer.